All right. So now we are live, and this is Speaking of SAC. We're talking with Dr. Robert Vela, the president of San Antonio College. Normally, we would be broadcasting live from 90.1 FM. It'd be in the morning. But given the circumstances, we have adapted, and now we are broadcasting online. So I think if that works, that's fine.
Yes. Well, it's a pleasure to join you. I mean, I think given the circumstances, we're doing all we can to connect with our students in a very virtual way and maintaining social distance. And I think what a great way to start the show virtually and from home, just like everyone's kind of new normal is at this point.
Oh, yes. Now, this has been a difficult situation, obviously, for everyone. If we do go back a couple of weeks ago, it was spring break, and I believe it was that Wednesday of spring break is when the World Health Organization came out, declared it a global pandemic. How quickly did we react to that? How can you gauge your response on?
Yeah, I think for the Alamo colleges, I think we were a step ahead of this, as ahead of it you can get. I think before we actually broke for spring break, we actually spent about 4 or 5 days before our break in intense planning with all stakeholders, faculty, student services, college services, and we spent hours and hours before we left on spring break to really begin developing a framework. What's that continuity of instruction going to look like? What's the continuity of operations going to look like? So a lot of the framework, we got experts from all over the colleges to come together. We had at times 150 people at district working on a framework to ensure that we were able to develop and stand up a continuity of instruction, student services, college services. Some of those teams worked, if not physically, but remotely during the spring break. A lot of us did not have a spring break. We were connected remotely. We were meeting to ensure that we were able to make a decision quickly depending on where we were going to end up. I think luckily for us, those 2 weeks of preparation time, the week before spring break, the actual spring break, really gave us a head start in a lot of the heavy lifting that we needed to do around taking the entire college online and via remote. And what was that going to look like? So there were hours and hours spent behind the scenes to ensure an environment that could be less disruptive for students and staff and faculty.
Now, obviously, nothing like this has happened before on this scale.
Right.
So there have been some bumps here and there, I would imagine.
I think right now what the biggest bumps, right, is having access to the technology that you need to be able to go remote. Those are issues, real issues around connectivity, around technology, around being able to connect with your instructor. Those are some basic things that I think we take for granted because they're available at the colleges. But once the colleges close down, what do our students do? So we established, a parking lot where it had high connectivity for students to actually come to campus, sit in their car, or go out to a picnic table and be able to connect there. I've been on campus last week and early this week and actually saw some students taking advantage of some of those hotspots. So I think also we have a loaner program now where we have invested in hundreds of laptops that students are now checking out through their instructors are basically identifying students that may not have the technology they need. Usha Venkat, as a director of our IT department, and her team are out physically distributing these within social distancing guidelines, all kinds of precautions to ensure that our students are getting the laptops they need to be successful.
And as a matter of fact, on the laptops, I'm glad you brought that up. So there is a program, and laptops are only going to be available until this Friday, April 3rd, in front of the
Yes.
Moody Learning Center from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if a student does not have a laptop, they can go to the Moody Learning Center, and we're, in everything that we do going forward, we do want to be safe about it.
Right.
So outside of the Moody's main entrance, there's going to be a bin with laptop checkout forms and envelopes. So you have to sanitize your hands before you begin the checkout process. You're going to fill it out, name, phone number, banner ID, put it in the envelope, and along with I believe your ID, you have to show some form of identification. And there's going to be a whole process to it. So laptops are available. Only students that need them, please come get them.
Yeah, it's very important because, as you know, we have 20,000 plus students in this semester. And this is really for students that just simply do not have a laptop or a PC or something. So please be mindful that there are a lot of students that don't have these. So if you have one, it may not be in the best condition, but it works. It'll work through this process. Let's be sure that we save these for the students that actually do not have any technology at home to be able to access their courses.
Definitely. And so spring break was extended a week in preparation to work remotely and learn remotely for students. Is that extra week going to be tacked on at the end of the semester? How is that going to work?
Actually, we've gotten permission to be able to do that if we need to, but right now we're trying to stay within the framework of our semester, our 16-week semester and our Flex 2 semester. So instead of going for 8 weeks for a Flex 2, we'll go 7 weeks. Instead of going the full 16, we go, we stay with the whole 16 weeks. So we've got the latitude to extend if we have to, but we're trying to get everything in on time so we don't have to really impact academic calendars. We don't have to impact those things that can take time to reframe, rebuild. Anytime you move a calendar, you've got to look at, okay, what's the 12th class day? There's a lot of nuances in how you report it to the state. So it's better for us to keep those semesters intact and work within those frameworks to ensure that we don't disrupt a lot of the things on the back end and make those adjustments for students, because they also want to complete on time. And some of those students may want to take a Maymester or a summer. So it's best that we stay on time so those students can then engage in those various parts of term.
Now, I've taken an online class before, many before. My very first one, though, I did horribly on it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did. I did very bad. But so are we anticipating that? Is there a way for students who, that this happened and they may not want to do online? Can they get an incomplete? Can they opt out of it? Have you run into anything like that?
We have various means by which we can address student concerns on an individual basis, right? Some of these courses require some experiential kind of teaching and learning that needs to happen where it's hands-on. About 400 students may be impacted there, where we're going to have to extend the semester and offer an incomplete and get them through a summer boot camp to get them completed. But for the majority of the students, they can still use the traditional means of filing for an incomplete if they need to, which we're trying to extend that from 90 to 120 days to give them more time to finish. That's the double-edged sword for us. We have to be very mindful that we don't always have a good track record of students that take the incomplete of ever coming back and finishing. So our goal is to get them through the finish line. So we have worked with faculty, instructors to say, guys, this is a time where we've got to grab a student by the hand and say, I know you're terrified. We have about 4,000 students, Hot Mustard, that have never taken an online class before. So that's terrifying for those students. So we are reaching out to them individually, saying, we're here, trust us. Faculty are going to hold your hand. We're going to walk you through. If you're experiencing some trouble, let us know, see if we can intervene. Because at the end of the day, if we can get the students through the finish line and get them to complete, the better it's going to be for them in the long run. So they don't have to carry that. I've got to go back and finish, and I'm still trying to manage my household and these kinds of things. It's better that if we just kind of bite the bullet here and get through it and get them through. So it's an all hands, grab students by the hand, get them through the finish line, keep a positive attitude, help students succeed. That's kind of been our message through this whole process.
Yeah, we definitely have always preached student success. So if a student feels that they are, that they need more help,
Yes.
are tutoring services still available in any fashion?
Boy, we have, if you go into our web, the very front of the web page, you're going to see an arrow that says be remote ready. You click there, and it'll have a bucket for students, faculty, and staff. Students will click the students, and you will see the amazing amount of resources, online tutoring, one-on-one tutoring via remote, via Zoom. We have not compromised any tutoring for students. So if you still need to meet with that algebra tutor or that chemistry tutor, it's available just like you would face-to-face. So go in there and there's a tutoring section. You've got multiple ways and avenues to connect to tutoring. You're going to see chat rooms, you're going to see Zoom rooms, you're going to see phone numbers, you're going to see emails. We even have a Zoom room, Hot Mustard, that's scheduled from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning. I have actually called in around 11:30, and Domingo, our head of our athletics program, picked up and said, how can I help you? I'm here to help at 11:30 at night. And I just said, I'm just checking in. How are you doing? And he brightened up and said, wow, you're my first customer this evening. So I appreciate you calling in. So folks are manning those rooms virtually and are there to help. So there should be no guesswork about where I go. If all else fails, log in, email, call saying, I need tutoring. They'll know exactly where to send you. But there is a full online tutoring cadre of different modes of tutoring that we have for all students.
Awesome. Also, so being that it is open that late at night, being at home, sleep schedules change. It happens.
It does. It's different.
So I do like that there is someone helping out 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. I think that's a great idea. Also, students, there's a helpline at the Student Advocacy Center that is open and ready to go. Students can get help with food, counseling, health and wellness resources, case management, emergency assistance. You can even reach out to them on Facebook. Just look up Student Advocacy Center, San Antonio College, and it's there. So someone commented on the YouTube stream, SAC Pride.
SAC Pride. I mean, we have taken a lot of pride, I think, in using that term. We've used it in a lot of marketing materials, but it has never been tested like it's been tested these last few weeks. And what I have seen from faculty, staff, students is a lot of resolve, a lot of positive attitude. I think a whole new way of engaging students that actually what I'm hearing from faculty is that students are actually more engaged, more committed, and it's challenging our faculty to think and create in new ways like they've never done before. And so, there was this great article that Dr. Alcorta, our Vice President of Student Success, sent us about during these very difficult transformational times, some of the best innovations will come from this. Some of the ways we deliver education or the way we work will change for the rest of our lives as a result of this pandemic. So I know there's not a lot oftentimes to be positive about because it's a lot of doom and gloom, but I can tell you the commitment that I've seen at SAC will transform how we deliver education at SAC forever. And I think it will ultimately, I think our behaviors, our attitudes, our initiatives continue to hold SAC proud in high regard.
What effect do you think this is going to have on the younger generations, the ones in, elementary, middle school right now, having
So
been
two
through this?
things. No, that's a great question, because I'm seeing my 10-year-old, who's a fifth grader, who is on remote, right, as working remotely as well. And so what you're going to see is, I'm already observing, is you're seeing some teachers who are very, very good at engaging in an online environment, and some teachers are still treating this as a correspondence kind of thing. So what I'm hoping for is that if we can stay highly integrative and engage with student learning, those students are going to want to continue in these types of environments. So the experience has to be positive. So we were just talking today to the team about, okay, we have to cancel all our summer camps for our kiddos, right? Which are very popular in the summer.
Oh yeah.
So we said, no, we're gonna offer virtual camps, and these camps are going to be highly interactive, so that students can begin to say, wow, that is an amazing learning environment that I want to be in. Look at the future of what it will be like when I attend SAC. So there's an opportunity here to truly uh, engage and transform how young people learn. uh, we may not have the money and the resources these big companies put into these amazing interactive apps, but we have the intellect, and I think we have the grit to create something special for our students in our backyard.
Awesome. It was kind of nice. I believe it was the last day before the shelter at home ordinance that the city had put into place. I was in my backyard and I hear all these cars honking. I was like, what's going on? So I go to the front of the house and it was a parade
Oh,
from
wow.
Kelly Elementary, and they had
Yes.
positive messages written all over the cars, and like the nurse had wash your hands, and the coach had don't forget to exercise, something like that. But
Yes.
that pride,
Yes.
and that was just a beautiful show
Yeah.
put on by them.
And one of the things that we're experiencing right now is really some grief, because we talk about how our family, away from family, right, our work family is so important, and it's being tested now. A lot of us miss our work families. Those kiddos miss those amazing teachers that give them a lot of joy, give them a lot of confidence. And my 10-year-old has experienced some grief, and she's actually uh teared up over it, how much she misses her teachers and how much she misses her friends. And this is a whole new environment. But I think at the end of the day, what I hope for is that it happens, that we're done and over with this quickly, but that we truly learn and appreciate how special it is for us to be with one another, how important relationships are with one another, so that we should always be kind to one another. Always don't take your relationships for granted, and those kinds of things. So there's a lot of time now for self-reflection, introspection that needs to happen, so that we can, I think, prepare a better tomorrow, right? And I think that's what we're being thrust into, that type of environment, to really reflect and say, what is it that we want to be as a country, as a community, as a college from this point on?
Definitely, definitely. And I saw a very positive message on Facebook the other day, and it was, "You're not stuck at home. You're safe at home."
Nice. I
You
love
know,
that. I love that. And I think we're all trying to be very creative with how we utilize our time. I think also folks have gotten really used to a schedule, and now this is a different schedule, and they feel like, what's my purpose now, right? So we're almost redefining our purpose, and humans want to have purpose. So it's a matter of constructing that sense of purpose during this very, very difficult time in our lives. And the more we are connected to each other, just like this venue today, the more I think it gives us a sense of pride and purpose to what we're doing for our students in our community.
Yeah, I can only imagine how the other departments on campus are handling the situation and adapting. It's you can be ready all you want, but until something happens, you don't really know how ready you are or are not. Um, so I know for the radio station KSYM, we've done our best to adapt, and I've done my best to take preventative measures to keep germs at a minimum, and et cetera, et cetera. You've seen me with the wiping the station down probably
You
every
were
other
what
morning.
you were focused on germs before it was an issue. I know that about you. You're the studio is spick and span. I know that. So
Yes. And so, in the college environment, you have a lot of professors that are a part of groups, advisory groups, and this is why we value our professors, because it's not just, oh, I'm a professor, I go in, I teach, I go home, I teach, I go home. We have lots of professors that are involved actively in their field, being a part of advisory boards or other organizations, and constantly learning on that
yeah.
and staying informed and trying to adapt that. And, well, how is this field going to work from here? So shout out to all the teachers. I think they're doing a great job out there.
It's a shout out, and I can't thank them enough for what they do. But think of what we just did as an Alamo Colleges district, or just look at SAC, to go fully online in every aspect of what we do. And it's getting better and better and richer with the content of information that we have out there and the levels of engagement in about a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I was mentioning to you earlier, Hot Mustard, there are still states out there in our great country that where community colleges still are struggling to take this fully online and fully remote. So that's a testament to our leadership, our commitment to SAC. I can't thank the administration, the faculty, the staff, the students, everyone that contributes to SAC in their own special way. We could not have done this if we weren't all in it together. And I have seen more examples of, I'm all in, just tell me what you need. It doesn't matter. We're working at all hours of the night to solve problems so that students see less of that in the background and see more about the opportunities to learn and to flourish and to get there and achieve their academic, personal, and career goals.
Definitely. So students, if they are watching this, the main thing for students and staff and faculty, check your email, check your ACEs, do it every day, several times a day.
Yes.
I would say.
And we're texting, we're emailing, we're phone calling, but always know you have at least 5 different modes of connecting with somebody. And I can tell you, based on everything we're seeing, we have plenty of bandwidth to address all your concerns. I don't care if you have 10 questions all at once, or you want to call in 10 different times, or you want to email, or you want to chat 10 different times. We have enough bandwidth to cover every single one of your concerns, questions, or issues. I promise you that.
Very nice. Very nice. O'Connell Robertson, they've donated $1,000 for emergency assistance. They're the local architecture firm for San Antonio College. Let's see.
And they've stepped up in a big way to say, I want my $1,000, which is a big deal, to go to our SAC students that are being impacted by this coronavirus, this new environment that we're in. Charlie Cheever just donated $2,500 to help the cause at SAC. We're getting more and more. Robert Ziegler has donated some money. Our president emeritus from SAC,
Dr.
our good
Z.
friend, Dr. Z in the house, also has allocated some monies for this fund. So we're seeing more and more people step up to say, look, I've given to you guys before for scholarships, but this is special. I want my money to go also specifically to this new environment. So these are pillars, these are leaders in our community that really care about our students. And I owe we owe a lot of gratitude to them, because they're going above and beyond what they traditionally do for SAC, which I just can't thank them enough for what they do for our students.
Yes. Community loves SAC, and we love the community.
That's right.
That's for sure.
That's right. That's right.
Registration is open for Maymester and the summer sessions. You know, if you watch a lot of news, and I've turned it off a little bit. You know,
I have too.
Watch a little bit here, a little bit there, but don't keep it on all the time.
No, there's a point. Exactly right, Hot Mustard. There's a point where there's so much doom and gloom that will start impacting your attitude, your behavior. Your behaviors and your attitudes become irrational. It's important to have a balance. You need to be informed, but you also need to break away from that so that your behaviors, your attitudes, your intentions are not irrational. They're purposeful. There's meaning behind what you do. So don't get caught up in watching the news 24/7 and doing your own statistical frameworks about what's going to happen and predicting models. And people can get way out of hand. It starts to consume you. Right now, we want students focused on their classes. We want the students to finish and cross that finish line at the end of the semester. You're absolutely right, Hot Mustard. You always find a way to balance things, and I appreciate that, because you've got great emotional intelligence.
I try, and that's that's why it's Maymester being open, summer session registration being open. We are going to move forward. We are not going to stop anything that we do. We have to keep moving forward.
Yes.
So Maymester is open. Summer session 1 and 2 registration is open. Check your ACES account on that.
Hot Mustard, Maymester just opened, and we already have 400 students registered.
Awesome.
We have 57 sections. So some students I know are enjoying the environment. I know we're struggling in other places, but we're going to find a happy medium where we can provide everything we can for our students. But actually, we're off to a great start in our Maymester.
Awesome. So advising alamo.edu/SAC/about-SAC, college services and advising. Check it out online. Also, alamo.edu/remote ready, I believe, is the website for us. alamo.edu/SAC/remote-ready. I'm pretty sure it's on the front page by now.
It's on the front page. You cannot miss it. Front page. I said, don't put anything else but that site on the front page.
Very nice. Very nice. So we're going to be back again next week, 4:30, same time?
Same time.
Or 3:30. I'm sorry, 3:30.
3:30. I was going to say, are you Eastern or are we Central or where are we?
Yeah, Central time. Central
time. Yeah.
And, I want to thank everybody that tuned in today. This is the first time we have done this. And we got 66 people watching right now. So SAC proud.
Proud.
Thanks for leaving the comments. And hopefully next week we'll see if we can take some questions. But
I would love to get to where we can just get questions answered, debunk some of these misconceptions out there. At the end of the day, students, we're going to get you through the finish line. We're going to get you through. We're all committed to get you through. So I know there's fear, there's anxiety, and traditionally that is, well, let me get out of the class because I'm afraid. Stay with us. Let us get you through. I promise we're going to get you through. If you just stick with us through this difficult time, we're going to find every way possible to get you through.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Of course.
All right. Well, it is that time of the show. We'll see you next week, and tune into 90.1 FM in San Antonio. We're still on the air. We're still broadcasting good quality programming and music. So tune in for that and check out alamo.edu/SAC. Thanks for chatting today, Dr. Bella.
It was my pleasure. I wish it could have gone on for another hour, Hot Mustard.
Oh, yeah. All right.